Good evening and many thanks for allowing me to be your captain for the next 20 odd minutes on the Primetime News ship as we navigate current affairs waters. I'm Michael Madimba. Tonight's bulletin commences in the Otjizinjupa region, where the principal of Willem Nauthier Primary School was arrested in September this year at Grootfontein for allegedly assaulting a grade 7 learner. He is expected to return to court on 30 November. Our correspondent in the region is tracking the case for us and filed this report.
Pandera Chikuka was arrested on 30 September 2022 after she allegedly assaulted the 13-year-old girl on 22 August this year. The learner's mother laid an assault charge against the principal, and on 3 October, Chituka appeared in court and represented herself before Magistrate Boniface Koga. Koga granted bail of 4,000 Namibian dollars, which she paid. Koga in the charge sheet read, "The charge against him will also change from common assault to assault with intent to cause grievously bodily harm." It stated the case was then postponed to 13 November this year to allow for police investigations. Education Acting Deputy Director in the Otjizinjupa region, Marcus Munenge, who in October this year investigated Chituka, told Nampa on Wednesday that, for now, the principal will stay at the school waiting for the outcome of the court case. The decision was echoed by Otjizinjupa Education Director Josephine Mutenda on Wednesday.
On to the Kunene region. Nearly 90 employees of the Ocho municipality recently staged a peaceful demonstration calling for improved working conditions. Molisa Simiasa filed the story.
During their street march, which started at the Etosha Port Township, the employees chanted slogans saying they have been working for the municipality for 20 years and yet they have earned less than 5,000 Namibian dollars per month. The employees said, therefore, they demand a 5% salary increase or an increase to their salaries to the levels of other municipalities operating at Patterson 2. The employees then handed over a petition to the municipality's chief executive officer in which they proposed a face-to-face meeting with the 7 local authority councillors of Ochu to discuss their salary demands. They gave the municipality 14 days, saying they would have no other option but to call for a strike. The Ochu municipality has a total workforce of 87 employees, including the CEO.
Moving on to the Kavango East region, where the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service on Thursday launched the Upshift program aimed at empowering close to 60 adolescent girls, young women as well as men, who experience marginalization as a result of contemporary social issues. Our Kavango region's correspondent Sawi Alsiku was at the event and filed the story.
The Deputy Minister in the Ministry, Emma Gautema Gomez, during the launch said, the program, which is a youth social innovation and social entrepreneurship program, combines social innovation workshops, mentorship, incubation and seed funding to provide young people with skills and resources they need to develop problem-solving skills in their own communities. The program is a United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund supported initiative. The program, she said, is brilliant as it speaks directly to the third National Youth Policy, which advocates for improved institutional coordination to ensure that youth development is mainstream at all levels. Tema Gomez addressed the beneficiaries, encouraging them to seize the opportunity with both hands.
A switch in attention to neighboring South Africa, where police authorities and their Israeli counterparts on Thursday revealed they had arrested a suspected gang boss whom Israel has sought for years for alleged conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. More details from this insert.
The South African police in a statement said the 46-year-old Israeli, who was not named, is linked to a major criminal organization called Abergil, noting that the suspect is on Interpol's most wanted list since 2015. The fugitive, who has been arrested together with 7 others at the house in Bryanston, an affluent northern suburb in Johannesburg. To Israeli authorities, it noted the suspect is part of a notorious gang dealing in drug trafficking, extortion, and other criminal activities. Israeli police later confirmed the arrest, saying it was part of a worldwide operation by its intelligence division, adding the arrest comes after many efforts, intelligence, operation, and cooperation between the authorities in Israel and abroad. It also said the suspects will be brought to the state authorities for investigation. South African police shared pictures and videos of the arrest in which the suspect was seen lying face down, their wrists fastened with cable ties.
This is what you can expect when we return with the business segment. Welcome to Primetime Biz, where business and economics top the agenda. The segment commences in neighboring South Africa, where public sector trade unions on Thursday called for a one-day national strike to be held next week, after talks with the government over wages collapsed. More on the gist of the story from this insert.
The dispute between the government and its employees piles pressure on President Cyril Ramaphosa as he seeks re-election as leader of the ruling African National Congress ANC party. Unions representing hundreds of thousands of workers, including nurses, vote to stage picket lines and demonstrations outside hospitals, ports, and government offices in a show of force next Tuesday. The union said in a joint statement, with the rapidly increased cost of living, the government wants public servants to be at peace with less inflation increases. This cannot stand. They want wages to rise by up to 10% amid high inflation. Earlier this month, Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi said the government will unilaterally implement a 3% increase across the board, an offer dismissed by workers' representative as paltry. Inflation in South Africa was at 7.5% in September, down from a peak of 7.8% in July. Reporting for Primetime News, Linnea Dishana.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres held the extension of an agreement allowing Ukraine to export grain through the Black Sea, aimed at relieving global food insecurity by 120 days. The UN chief acknowledged Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan for Istanbul's status as an essential center for discreet diplomacy.
Ukraine is a top world exporter of grain, but Russia's invasion in the late February stopped shipments.
In Istanbul, Turkey, Ukraine, Russia and the UN had come to an agreement for the rollover of the Black Sea Grain Initiative, allowing for the free exports of Ukrainian grains.
In recent weeks, Russia had repeatedly warned that it might not agree to extend the agreement because a separate deal that was also signed in July exempting Russia's fertilizers from sanctions had not been implemented.
I want to express my deep commitment and the commitment of the UN to do everything possible for the smooth implementation of this agreement in Istanbul by the Joint Coordination Center, and also to remove the remaining obstacles to the unimpeded exports of Russian food and fertilizers, essential to avoid a food crisis next year too.
Reporting for Primetime News, Linnea Dishana.
That's where we leave it with the top news. Kindly stay tuned for the business and economics roundup, followed by what the weather has in store for us across the country. Planet, the slot that unpacks everything sport for you. Before we commence, we would like to apologize for erroneously attributing Nico Hülkenberg's age as 37, when in actual fact he is 35. That's in last night's Formula One insert. We commence with rather sad news for Africans and Sadio Mane fans, as the Senegalese star has lost his race to be fit for the 2022 World Cup and has been withdrawn from their squad, the country's football federation announced Thursday. His club, Bayern Munich, later added that the 30-year-old, who was voted second in the Ballon d'Or last month behind Karim Benzema, had undergone successful surgery in Innsbruck, where a tendon was reattached to the head of his right fibula. Bayern said Mane will begin his rehab in Munich in the next few days, wishing the Senegalese marksman a speedy recovery. Staying with football, Neymar is in peak physical condition as he bids to lead Brazil to a 6th FIFA World Cup title in Qatar, the forward's Paris Saint-Germain teammate Marquinhos said on Thursday. Brazil will begin the tournament against Serbia on November 24, before facing Switzerland and Cameroon in Group G. Marquinhos said during a break in Brazil's pre-World Cup training camp in Turin. The attention and pressure is inevitable. It's always been like that since he arrived at the national team in 2010. Now, Neymar has been in impressive form for PSG, having scored 15 goals and provided 12 assists in 19 games for the French club this season. The 30-year-old has netted 75 times in 121 outings for his country and is poised to break Pele's all-time Brazil record of 77 goals in the tournament. Stand by for your sports roundup. This is where the Primetime News ship docks. Many thanks for watching. Catch us next week Monday for another insightful Primetime News edition. A parting reminder to all football fans that the World Cup begins this Sunday with the first match between Qatar and Ecuador. Do enjoy the greatest soccer showpiece on the planet. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the collective behind the scenes, it's good night.